Aloha, I'm Val Aquino Okimoto, and I'm running for the Honolulu City Council in District 8, which covers Mililani, Mauka, Waipiʻo Gentry, Pearl City, and ʻAiea. For the past 4 years, I have had the honor of serving my community of Mililani as a state legislator. One of the main reasons why I decided to run for office was to bridge the gap between elected officials and the everyday person. This sentiment still holds true today and is one of the main reasons I decided to seek election this year to the Honolulu City Council. To offer the people an active, objective voice in laws that impact our everyday lives. My local roots were formed on the island of Kauai, where I was born and raised. I am blessed with parents who taught me lifelong values that not only emphasize intellectual growth, but most importantly, character building. Now that I am a mother of 2 beautiful daughters, I realize there is no other role more important in life than that of being a parent. Like many of you, I have a vested interest in what happens in the communities we live in, as well as the future and well-being of our keiki. Since taking office, I have supported and introduced legislation that reduces the cost of living for Hawaii's working families, encouraged the development of affordable homes for local families, promoted the creation of high-quality jobs to help keep our families here in Hawaii, brought tens of millions of dollars to our schools, gave voice and representation to those who felt forgotten and unheard. Running for the Honolulu City Council, I plan to continue serving our communities with as much passion, energy, and ideas as I do now. I believe that our people are craving for new leaders that are honest and have integrity and common sense. As I have walked doors, the consistent and growing concerns from the district are the increase in homelessness and the uptick in crimes connected to it. In order to address this issue, I propose a treatment-first approach. I will do this by introducing and supporting legislation that targets the root causes of homelessness and not just taking homeless families off the streets. I will also unapologetically support our law enforcement, as they are an essential player in addressing this issue. Unfortunately, affordable housing alone will never truly solve this crisis. We must take a multifaceted approach and focus on the problem's root causes. I have and will always support policy that allows residents to work and be financially self-reliant, while also supporting legislation and government programs for those who truly need it. My desire to serve has always been about being a voice and taking action for those who have entrusted me with their votes. It has never been about holding a title, pushing an agenda, or being in the spotlight. What drives me each day is knowing that I am serving the very people who believe in me. My constituents know that whatever needs, questions, or concerns they may have voiced are not falling on deaf ears. Hawaii is now on the precipice of economic upturn, if we allow it. The effects of COVID-19 and the resulting shutdown expose Hawaii's economy as flawed and two-dimensional. If I am elected to the City Council, I am committed to bringing and facilitating high-quality, high-paying jobs to our district. I will be a leader who acts with integrity, transparency, and accountability. Given the plague of corruption we have seen among our public officials, it's time for our elected leaders to be the example, not the exception. With your vote, we can be the example of what leadership and accountability should look like. It's time to elect leaders who don't shy away from working across the aisle and don't rubber stamp or kill legislation because of special interests. It's time to be the change we want to see in Hawaii. For these reasons, I humbly ask for your vote when you receive your ballot on July 26th. Together, we can make our island the place that we and our children can proudly call home. To learn more about me and my campaign, go to valokimoto.com or follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Val Aquino. And remember to vote Val this primary election. Mahalo nui loa.
Aloha, I'm Inam Rahman. I'm a medical doctor, pharmacist, community volunteer, and a TV host of Health is Wealth on Ōlelo TV. I'm running for House District 35. I'm married to beautiful lady Mirani Popular Gajiana Rahman, and we have a son Jalil. I came to USA 40 years ago with $100 in my pocket. English was my secondary language, to become a doctor to help people. I started my journey by working as a janitor, ice cream salesperson, and a cashier. At the same time, I furthered my education by working as a volunteer at a Veterans Administration Hospital. After I got my pharmacy license, I saved my money and went to study medicine. I graduated and I came to Hawaii, got my licenses. I fell in love with Hawaii, its diversity, its people, and the aloha spirit. I knew Hawaii was my home. If I get elected, I have a 6-point agenda. Healthcare. Beside moving Hawaii and people of Hawaii forward with COVID and future diseases like monkeypox, I want to make sure that we are prepared in advance to take care of these problems. I worked for the Veterans Administration Hospital as an emergency room doctor for 4 years. As a pharmacist, I know their drug system. They buy in bulk and save a lot of money. If I get elected, I can bring the same system to Hawaii and save us a lot of money. I want to make sure that our elderly pay no tax on prescription drugs and supplies, just like in New York. I also want to make sure that the Social Security benefits and unemployment benefits as well as retirement benefits are preserved, and there is no tax on that. As far as the education is concerned, it should be our first priority. I want to make sure that we infuse, I would put a bill to infuse $600 million, just like DHHL, which will go towards increasing teachers' salary with benefit and some kind of allowances, as well as the teachers' staff, support to the teachers' staff. I want to make sure that A+ after school program becomes permanent because it's good for the teacher, it's good for the children, and it's good for the parents. As far as the economy is concerned, we want to make sure that people get their unemployment benefits in time. And we continue to have minimum wage, reasonable minimal wage according to the inflation rate. As far as the environment is concerned, we need to invest in environment because environment is our future. Without good environment, we cannot survive. There is a lot of opportunities to invest in solar energy, geothermal energy, and possibly water energy and wind energy, which we have a lot in Hawaii. So we should be the leader of using the alternate energy in the world. Public trust, we need to bring the public trust back. I propose that we make mandatory ethical training permanent. We at VA, we get the ethical training, and that keeps everybody in line. So it should be permanent for all the government employees and the legislators. The public safety is concerned, we have a lot of problem in my district. There's crime, there's burglaries, there's homelessness also. There's loud noises, speeding. So we want to make sure that we increase our police force and we keep them by giving them a better salary with the benefits. Homelessness is a very special issue to me, and I'm actually working on that, and I would be giving a proposal about homelessness which will include multiple aspects of taking care of the homelessness according to why they are homeless. Thank you very much for listening to me. Aloha.
Aloha, I'm Jamie Detwiler, candidate for Hawaii State Representative for District 37, covering Mililani and Waipiʻo. I am running because Hawaii has problems, and it's time we got serious about solving them. Our small businesses are still struggling to recover. Schools are still masking and grooming our children. The cost of housing is at an all-time high, contributing to many kama'aina leaving Hawaii. Our homeless population is growing. Corruption and the lack of transparency has plagued government politics. Crime is on the rise, our police officers are under attack, and the media continues to push a narrative of fear and division. Hawaii needs leaders they can trust. We need leaders with integrity, a vision, and a strong work ethic. And career politicians continue to fail us year after year. The time has come to put Hawaii first. Hawaii first for our kids in K through 12 education, with a curriculum that makes sense and where parents are part of the team. First for families so they can thrive in safe and secure neighborhoods. First for people who want to become first-time homeowners. First for people who want to own small businesses. And first in helping bring back businesses shuttered during the government-forced shutdowns. Hawaii First means opportunity for all. That's why I'm running for state representative. I am Hawaii-born and raised in Kaneohe. My mahoi ohana have humble beginnings in Puna, and my grandmother's family resided in Haleiwa. I've been married for 35 years to Neil Detwiler, who is a retired Honolulu Fire Department captain. We have 4 children and 9 grandchildren. We have lived in Mililani for 34 years and love our ohana and the people of our community. In my spare time, I enjoy the art of lei making and gardening. I graduated from Castle High School. I earned my Bachelor of Arts degree in sociology from the University of Hawaii at Hilo, and a master's degree in social work, along with a public health advanced certificate from the University of Hawaii at Manoa. I am not a politician. I am a licensed social worker in Hawaii. I am also a trained mediator and critical incident response specialist. I recently retired from the federal government, holding various positions of advocacy and most recently in healthcare administration. I have a proven record of servant leadership, collaboration, integrity, and a strong work ethic. Over the course of my 33-year career, I've earned the trust of clients, families, colleagues, leaders, and stakeholders through advocacy in healthcare and social services. As your representative, I will bring truth, courage, and integrity back to the state capitol. I am ready to stand and fight for you, your family, and for the people of Hawaii, and to hold myself accountable to those whom I serve. I will collaborate with fellow legislators to represent your voice through the development and implementation of sound policy. You may find more information about my priorities and experience at jamiedetwiler4hawaii.com and on social media at jamiedetwiler4hawaii. I would be honored and humbled to receive your vote. I look forward to serving you by representing your voice that will have an impact on our community and for generations to come. Mahalo.
Aloha, my name is Ryan Yamane, and I'm running for re-election to the State House of Representatives, District 37, which includes Lower Mililani Town, part of Mililani Mauka, and Waipiʻo Gentry. Thank you for the privilege to work with you over these many years. It truly has been an honor. Together, we have accomplished so much for our community, our state, and our nation. Especially during this time as we recover from the impacts of COVID-19, my family continues to serve as a daily reminder of the importance of working together. They keep me focused on making our community a safer place to live, work, and play. We are proud to call our community home. To us, our community means more than just where we reside as a family. It represents a sense of ohana, togetherness, and national pride. As your state representative, I remain focused on advocating for issues and concerns that impact your daily life. As a licensed social worker, I have the distinct pleasure of meeting many families and young adults across our state. As your legislator, I have focused on improving our healthcare, reducing traffic congestion, supporting our veterans, protecting our environment, and fighting for issues that impact your quality of life. In addition to serving you in the legislature, I continue to serve as a volunteer disaster responder. It continues to be an honor to help others and share the aloha spirit during very difficult times. Serving others during a disaster provides me with a deeper appreciation of living with aloha and empathy for others. I volunteer as a disaster mental health worker with the American Red Cross, a trainer with the services to our armed forces, a medical reserve corps volunteer with Department of Health, a youth mental health first aid trainer with Department of Education, a volunteer on the boards of the FBI Honolulu Citizen Academy Alumni Association, and a member of the Knights of Resolve and a member of the Order of St. Lazarus, and several boards that focus on affordable housing and providing academic scholarships. These experiences reinforced in me the power of resilience and made me even prouder of the compassion we have in Hawaii for others and working together to deal in difficult times. The past 2 years, I was appointed as the chair of the State House Health, Human Services, and Homeless Committee, and I also worked actively on the committees of Education and Higher Education. I was also asked to co-chair the House Special Committee on Red Hill, which focused on investigating the water contamination and ensuring that the Navy closes the facility and completes all safety remediations. I am also the co-chair for the National Conference of State Legislatures Health and Human Services Committee, designed to work with all the states to address our nation's health and human services challenges. These past few years have been very challenging. However, we have been successful in investing in programs that address many important issues in our state. We pass laws that support and protect our keiki, our kapuna, and those who are most vulnerable. Even though we have brought back millions of dollars in community improvement projects that supported our local schools, improved our highways, and assisted community-based infrastructures, it has always been focused on helping the people and families in our community. I am running for re-election to the State House of Representatives to continue my goals to preserve and enhance our way of life. My goals continue to be to improve our economic situation by reducing the impacts of inflation, continue to improve our educational facilities, and ensure that our students receive needed classroom resources, focus on improving our transportation infrastructure, increase accountability to ensure transparency for the use of all of our state and federal dollars, and eliminate wasteful spending. We need to hold everybody accountable. Hawaii will always be my home and the place I want my children and their children to call home. I will continue to focus on working hard, listening to you, and having a genuine compassion for the people I serve. I am committed to working hard for you because you deserve nothing less. Your vote is very important to me, and I will not take it for granted. It is truly an honor to represent this community and the place my family has called home for over 25 years. Please support me with your vote. Ryan Yamane, State House, District 37. Together, we can make a difference. Mahalo.
Aloha, I'm Lauren Cheape Matsumoto, and I'm running for re-election to the Hawaii State House of Representatives. Now, more than ever, we need legislators who have both the experience and the vision to lead our communities into a healthy, sustainable, and thriving economy. My dedication to our community is stronger than ever, and I always advocate for the best interests of the families in our state. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve my community in the Hawaii State Legislature for the past 10 years. I humbly ask for your continued support. This election year is unique in that redistricting has taken place due to reapportionment, which occurs every 10 years to ensure that each district is equal in population using the census data. The boundaries of every district in Hawaii have changed, some minor and some major. For the past 10 years, Mililani was split into 3 districts that included several other neighboring communities. The new apportionment now consolidates Mililani into 2 areas. I have the opportunity to continue to serve one of those areas, District 38, which encompasses Lower Mililani by Safeway, then heading up to Mauka, everything on the left-hand side of Mehe'ula, and then a majority of Mauka. For more information and the maps of the new districts, go to laurenforhawaii.com and click on the Reapportionment tab. I have been honored to represent the community of Mililani where I was born and raised.
I attended Mililani Waina Elementary School. I was the very first class at Mililani Middle School when there were only 2 buildings and no sidewalks, and I graduated as a 3-sport athlete from Mililani High School. I then went on to the University of Hawaii, where I majored in film and minored in business and Japanese, and where I also played wahine water polo. I went on to complete my master's in business administration, as well as my doctorate in organizational leadership. My background growing up in Mililani and my education are some of the reasons I am prepared to continue serving you as your State House representative. Like many women legislators before me, I had an unorthodox path to politics. I was always inspired by the work of my grandmother, and she was the first female director of agriculture in Hawaii under both Governor Ariyoshi and Governor Waipiʻo. But it was actually after winning Miss Hawaii in 2011 that my interest in public service really began to develop in tangible ways. During that year, I spent a great deal of time working with legislators on various issues at the Capitol and in the community. I had the unique opportunity to see how legislation started with listening to the community, then creating legislation for their benefit, and championing the cause on our community's behalf. As your State House representative, I have made it my top priority to always be available to listen to the issues that matter most to you and work together for our community. But I know that actions speak louder than words. So as a representative, I have always been committed to listening to feedback, discussing concerns, providing resources, and updating the community with news from the Capitol. Every year when I survey my district, the top issues include cost of living, traffic, housing, crime, and education. I am dedicated and committed to continuing to work on these issues in the legislature. Another really important thing for me as a legislator is the time that I get to invest in our community, whether I'm reading to kids at schools or helping out at a food distribution center or talking with kupuna about their concerns. All of these experiences not only help to serve the needs of each individual, but it also helps me to create legislation to meet the needs of our community as a whole. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve my community in the Hawaii State Legislature. I've been able to see firsthand how important it is to have a diverse body of legislators committed to working together to make laws. I have remained dedicated to my job as a representative for the past 10 years, and I am committed to continue making a difference for the community of Mililani. I see public service as an incredible opportunity to give back to the community where I was born and raised and where I'm now raising my children. Since I was elected in 2012, I have worked effectively to serve you and be an influential voice in the legislature. For more information, follow me on Instagram at Lauren for Hawaii, on Facebook at Lauren Cheape Matsumoto, or go to my website, laurenforhawaii.com. Mahalo, and I humbly ask for your support.
Aloha, friends and Ōlelo viewers. Welcome to Candidates in Focus. I'm Marilyn Lee, candidate for the State House of Representatives in the new District 38. This public service by Ōlelo is a wonderful opportunity for new candidates and veterans to speak to their communities about important issues and to give the community an opportunity to get to know the candidates. Mililani has 2 newly reapportioned districts. They are Districts 37 and 38, and I'm running in the newly reapportioned and open 38th District, which includes Mililani Town and most of Mililani Mauka. In fact, I live in almost the dead center of the district and have lived there for 40 years in the same little old cul-de-sac. My extensive knowledge of the history of Mililani Town and Mililani Mauka is one of the reasons I want to represent the people there. As a candidate with not only legislative experience, but also years of community service, I think I'm the best person for the job. As a neighborhood board member, I am familiar with the most important issues being brought to the board. One issue of real concern has been the recent decision by Hart to postpone the planned Pearl City parking lot indefinitely. The community was promised we would have such a facility when we supported rail, and it is critical to the success and ridership from Central Oahu that we have it. I will work with the city to restore the plan. As the holiday approaches, the problem of illegal fireworks will rear its ugly head again. We need to control the use of fireworks, not be controlled by them. I want to be able to drive down the street on New Year's Eve without fearing a bomb will explode next to the car. I want to participate in peaceful Christmas Eve services and have a family-centered Thanksgiving without being interrupted by fireworks. Today, we have absolutely no control over the bombs and debris falling. We need to take our community back. The almost 3 years of the pandemic have had a chilling effect on business, education, and safety for us all. As a member of a school community council, I am aware of the need for social and emotional care of those students who have lost so much through no fault of their own. If elected, education will be among my main areas of concern. Finally, it was recently announced that the long-term care facility at Waipahu Hospital is closing. The short notice of this has taken the community by surprise, and the loss of more than 100 long-term care beds is disastrous. I will be working on this issue and other kupuna concerns as our community is aging and these need to be addressed. Many more concerns are on my mind, but there will be time to discuss them with you. I am very open to listening and can be found at marilyn@marilynblee.com or 808-542-4438. Much mahalo to Ōlelo and to you for viewing today. Aloha.